Hi everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live today and thank you so much for being here. My name's Alyssa and I'm the Marketing Manager here at Katoomba, and today I'm so pleased to be welcoming back Jodie and Simon from Frog Coaching. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, what about you two?
Good in South Australia.
Yeah.
I'm averagely fantastic, given that I'm in Victoria.
Yes, we were just talking about Simon, who is located in Victoria, and kind of the news that we've been hearing recently. Obviously, good news that beauty and hair can open up towards the end of next month, which is fantastic because it's obviously not as delayed as we originally thought for beauty. So that's good news. But yeah, hang in there, guys. We know it's been a really long time. We know it's not easy, but yeah, stay strong. We'll get there.
We're coming for you.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool. Well, I'm so excited to have you guys here today. I thought what would be really good is I know that we spoke kind of not actually long ago now, but I thought it'd be really nice if you guys could introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about Frog Coaching for those that haven't heard about you.
Sure.
Well, I guess Frog Coaching's been around for about 18 years and 19 years, and I've been in Frog for about that length of time. And we love our industry, the hair and beauty industry, and we try to take a different angle in everything that we do. So it's all about fun, which is our first value in Frog. Fun, results, originality, and growth. Spells Frog. And so it's really about helping owners and teams to all grow together and move together in one direction. But the fabulous Jodie is in South Australia, so I'll let her speak for herself.
Yes, I am here in South Australia and very fortunate, I think, to be working. We obviously, with everybody else at the start of the year, experienced a bit of turmoil, if that's the right word. I think every one of our phones exploded with salon owners, and I wouldn't like to swap place with anybody, but I think everybody has done such just a great job in just head down, bum up and keep working. And it's just horrible. I mean, there's business owners that have been 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years in GFCs and things, but this is just unreal. And everybody should be really proud of themselves that has continued on and continued to grow and is still there. And that's really rewarding for me, I think, now going around and seeing my salons, and it's just so proud of all of them because they're just doing such a fantastic job, and the just the bravery of some of these owners, just 16-hour days and just blood, sweat and tears, and it's nice to see them smiling and sane. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nicely put.
There's also another reason they're smiling, and that's because, and I'm very proud of Jodie because she's kind of our Frog Coach extraordinaire. She seems to have the ability to walk into salons and start working with them, and within sort of a few months' time, we're seeing 4 times their turnover growth. She's just, yeah, it's really impressive. So we love her.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for that. So the reason that we got Jodie and Simon here today is to talk to you guys about the 3 things that they think that salons, spas and clinics need to do between now and Christmas so that you are prepared for that crazy, crazy season. So we're going to obviously go through their top tips around that. But as always, if you guys do have any questions as we're chatting, please do put your questions in the comments below, and I'm sure that Jodie or Simon will be able to answer them for you. Cool. So we will get right into it. So what is the first thing that you guys believe that salons, spas and clinics absolutely need to get onto between now and before kind of the crazy Christmas season rush?
Yeah, and I think this year will be a bit more of a rush. Normally straight after Father's Day, Christmas is everywhere, and I'm yet to see that happen here. So I think it's going to sneak up faster than every other year. But number one, absolutely to rebook. You've got to get your rebook rate with your clients up 80, 85, 90% is great. We've got salons doing that now. But I think that the things that you need to do is not ask the question to clients, would you like to rebook? You really have to do it properly. And you've got to practice it and practice it regularly, role playing with your team. And put some fun around that. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be, a lot of people are nervous to ask that question. And I think that if you get just so good at making it a habit, you will find your numbers will just start to increase with your number of clients that you rebook. We would like a nice predictable appointment book coming into Christmas without having to run and stop and keep answering the phone. Those clients are frantic trying to get an appointment.
Yeah. So what, I guess in terms of rebooking rate, you said, obviously a lot of your clients have really, really high rebooking rates. What do you kind of recommend if someone's like, right, I'm going to really, really work on this number? What is your recommended kind of number for them to aim for?
Simon, have you, I suppose...
Or is there not really a magic number? That's also the other answer.
I think every stylist and beauty therapist should really be sitting and aiming to sit at that 80% is really kind of that magic number. And I think Jodie made a really good point that it's often in salons you hear owners saying you need to rebook more, but they don't ever take time to say, here's how to do that. Here's how to improve your rebooking. So my second eldest daughter was in the junior elite squad for gymnastics in New Zealand when she was about 7.
Amazing.
And, Russian coach. And they don't believe in that principle of practice makes perfect. The Russians believe in the term perfect practice makes perfect. So you can practice something until you're blue in the face, but if it's not a good technique, it's not going to get you the result. So Jodie's incredible at helping salons to be able to improve on rebooking and has the best techniques to help them to do it. So just if people need some help in that, just sing out. We'll help for free. It's there.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have a top way that you kind of like to ask people to rebook? Like, is there a favorite? Do you have a one-liner or anything like that you could share with us?
Simon said something to me the other day. We were talking about phone calls and people ringing up or wanting to rebook and, new clients and things and people saying, how much is? And I think asking the question to rebook is the number one thing that you don't do. So there isn't just a one-liner that I think you said, Simon, we can make you feel $1 million for just short of $1 million, with a client. But I think it's educating your team around, go back to consult. What's your client aiming for, whether it's hair or skin or beauty, what's your client aiming for? And it's you would love to see them back in 4 weeks on a whichever day or whatever.
So really, I guess, giving them that advice and saying, like, I'm going to need to see you again in 4 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Very much taking leadership means that you're leading them through your world. And so because you've just created the style with a client, you probably are the one who knows when they should be back. And it's important to not be kind of, I'd like to see you in about 6 to 8 weeks, because you start to sound like you don't know. So it needs to be very much to back mirror, showing them how wonderful they look. To keep you looking this good, I'll need to see you again in 6 weeks. We'll sort that out before you go.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, no, I really, really like that. And ultimately, clients are paying for your expertise. So, and you are the expert. So be confident in that, and then, and provide them with, that expert opinion so that they can, remain feeling amazing. Cool. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So the first one is making sure that you're rebooking all of your clients so that they're all booked in and ready for Christmas. And beyond. I guess that's for kind of in the new year, making sure that you're busy again is keeping that up.
Yeah.
Big potential for Victorian salons that they'll have a big increase at Christmas and then a massive lull in the new year. So got to really rebook to ensure that smooths out.
Yeah. Yes, because we did see in terms of booking and in terms of spend, we did see post-COVID, the first time after the first set of lockdown kind of in New Zealand and Australia, so we saw it in both, we saw Christmas-like numbers, so just shy of kind of a standard Q4 numbers, which are obviously incredible. We saw that, so I can only imagine after so long in Victoria that you guys are going to absolutely see that again.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. All right. And so what is your second top tip for things that you've got to do before the Christmas rush?
I think team, just getting your team together, really focusing on your team's success. And you really have to prepare for the last quarter to make it the best quarter ever that you've ever had. This is the time for setting your targets, having morning huddles, checking in on everybody, checking results from the day before. What are we focusing on today? Make it very clear, chunking it down, and just, checking in on one another. But it needs to be, I think, a daily thing. And nutting out, talking about problem solving, things that you might suggest may get in the way for you achieving really great results. And another big thing, I think the team agreeing on expectations for the last quarter to make it the best one yet. Just so there's no surprises. We don't want to cause any stress that's unnecessary to owners or other staff by, I need 3 days off this week or that week. I think it's really agreeing on team expectations, what's fair for everybody, and making it very clear, getting a whiteboard, make it fun, have silly prizes. Like Simon said, we've turned up all the time to salons with chocolate frogs and things to celebrate the top retail or rebooking or whatever it may be.
I do that, but unfortunately halfway there I tend to eat them. So
yeah, should have shares in Freddo Frogs, but I think it's not the owner saying this is what I expect. It's everybody agreeing that yes, this is what we all expect. And again, we do a lot of work as coaches with teams. We work with owners and teams, but it's a big thing just getting the agreements, because if everybody agrees, then everybody can know where they're going. Yeah,
definitely. And when you talk about expectations, do you mean things like kind of the hours that you're going to be working and the leave that you're going to take, and kind of what else does that include?
Yeah, look, expectations as a team. How are we going to work together? How is the team going to work together with, and again, problem solving, potential of running late, and how is the team going to support one another in situations? Rostering, yes, obviously, you can start having those discussions, and that's why, again, rebooking is a big part of that. If clear with your rebooking, you can get your hours set, and then there's an expectation that we all have a day off. There's an expectation that we may have to work a bit longer those 2 weeks before Christmas. But I think you need to have the communication now, because we all have things outside of work, and we need to plan, I think, for this last quarter.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have any? Oh, sorry, go on, Simon.
Sorry, I was just going to say that it's almost like in some salons I've noticed there's been a bit of a pendulum swing where for a period of time there with JobKeeper here and in New Zealand, where staff have kind of almost gone, I'm on JobKeeper, I don't really need to kind of do a lot in the salon. And that's caused a bit of strain and stress for some of the salon owners, feeling almost a bit of resentment that their staff haven't been that engaged. The reality is, for that next quarter, it's really about getting everyone to acknowledge that the pendulum needs to swing back to the salon for this last quarter. There's been too much lost through 2020. So this must be, as you said before, Jodie, this has to be not only a good quarter, it has to be the best quarter that not only our salons but our industry has in both Australia and New Zealand, because there's so much to have catch up on that's been lost. But also, let's be real about this, we have to make sure salons are in a really strong position to cover no matter what might take place in 2021, because we think this year's the bad year. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be more issues yet. So I think it's really about what Jodie was saying, getting the team together and saying, right, guys, we've got to be unashamedly about making money in this next quarter. And that's not just to say, let's sell things that people don't need. I think we'll all agree that our industry can make a lot more money just by simply opening up and being honest without fear around what clients actually do need. And not missing any opportunities. This is, of any quarter, this is the quarter to go for it and to be completely on top of your game.
And we do know that it's possible as well, because there just are huge spikes in Q4, you know. People want to look and feel amazing, and people need to buy gifts, and they need to stock up on their products because, you know, they're going away, and we can see all those numbers. And especially given that, you know, particularly in Victoria, you know, you guys haven't been able to go and kind of get all of your treatments and services and things like that. This really is the time to
Lucky I didn't have to shave my head.
We've all been there, Simon. We've all been there.
You probably didn't notice.
Cool. And you're so right. You know, this is really the time to make money. So I was going to say, in terms of setting those targets, do you have any tips there? Because obviously you can't stick to your standard targets when there is actually so much money to be made in that quarter. Like, how do you kind of amp those up to really motivate and push your team to kind of to really, really achieve in this quarter?
I think Jodie's right. I think that's really good team to create those together. Probably won't hurt for a lot of salons to engage their accountants to work out what is. We know that a lot of salon owners don't even know what their break even is, let alone how to set a target. So understanding what their break even will be over the next quarter, given all of the wages and everything that'll be likely to be included, and then at least you've got a fixed place to start from. So if you break even is $10,000 a week, then work out how much profit you want to be making once all of those bills are paid. And if you might want to, that'll be where you want to amp it up and say, well, we've got to get 30%, 40%, whatever that percentage looks like. So that's what our target will end up being. And then start to dissect that into how many staff you've got and who's going to be taking up what contribution. But as Jodie's been saying, keep it fun.
Yeah. And I think it's important too for, yes, I think it's important. I think I was saying to Simon the other day that if a salon thinks that you can just go back to what you were doing in January, February and March before COVID hit, and you've spent the 6 months in a little bit of a government cocoon, that it's been great. It has been great. You know, you've had support, but once they cut the rope and you're on your own, if you continue to do the things that you did at the start of the year when the world is a very different place now, I think that it would be hard. And you might face some hard times from October right through until next March, because look, if it's just not a bottomless pit of money that they can just keep forking out. It's got to stop somewhere. And one of our coaches said, this is the holiday that I'm forced to have that's going to cost me more than what I've ever spent on a holiday, so I'm going to make it worth my while. So being forced into lockdown, you can't just sit there and think, oh, well, yep, I'll go back to work once I'm allowed to. It won't work for you. So I think that you really have to just try and focus in on all these things that we're talking about and do things differently. Yeah, find your new normal.
Definitely.
Cool. Make sure your team are all 100% there and present for the next quarter.
Yeah, and I guess really like banding together and creating that real sense of team, and you're all in it together, and you'll kind of be better together, kind of camaraderie.
We have a concept we often talk about, which is being maniacs on a mission. I mean, it's one thing for a person, for a normal person to be on a mission, but imagine being a maniac on a mission. And I think I think we all need to be maniacs on a mission in the this last quarter. And that's why Jodie's saying pull the team together and create what that mission will be, and then clip your ears back and go.
Yeah, awesome. And the other thing I was going to say as well is that you were saying the importance of kind of those morning huddles and having meetings with your team. Do you kind of have a little bit of an agenda or like key things that, you know, in each morning huddle you want to hit that can kind of make those a really successful use of your time?
Yeah, we run 30-day challenges with our salons that we coach, and it's very important. It's an important part of winning when you've got someone responsible and team to have a morning huddle. And basically, if your 30-day challenge is on rebooking, you have a look at the results from the day before. How can we improve? What are we going to do today? Okay, we did 8 yesterday. What's our goal today? Is everyone on board? What problems can we see happening? Is anybody struggling? And make sure. Big one is you've got to celebrate the wins. The people that are absolutely doing everything. You have to shout that from the rooftops, because that's a big thing. And it is very much team. There's no there's no she did better, he didn't, etc. It's team, and everyone works together. And it's surprising how, when you really strip it back and monitor it daily, it happens. I'm working with a salon at the moment, and to be handed a retail incentive of 40 products or 50 products a month, it doesn't happen. Be on it every day. Guess what? It happened. It's just that accountability daily. Yeah.
And I like that as well, because it keeps it top of mind. You're reminded, you cannot forget. And also, you're right, celebrate the wins. Like, you do actually get really excited when you're like, oh, we did better than yesterday. That's cool. Mm-hmm. How can we do it again today? And again, kind of bringing the team together and getting excited about their performance.
Yeah.
There's another element too that we talk about a lot in Frog, and that is that we're often making sure that our owners are also celebrating behavior, whether they got a result or not, because the right behavior, if done over and over and over again, they'll become more confident in it, and the results will follow. So even if a stylist attempts to rebook, well, that was bad news, wasn't it? I thought that was off. So even if somebody is rebooking and working really hard with their rebooking, but they they don't get that rebook, but they've done what they were asked to do, I'd be all over it like a rash and saying, well done, I'm proud of you, that was fantastic.
That's great advice. Yeah, I completely agree. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. And what is the third and final thing that they need to really, really get onto between now and Christmas?
I think you just have to create some fun around all of this, and make it something that your team want to be a part of. It's not a lecture session. It's not you must. I think you got to make it fun. Look, nobody consistently under stress, and it's going to be stressful. Christmas is always stressful. This is just put another element on it this year. So I think that again, celebrating those wins and doing your huddles, creating your challenges. And this is where it's really important to know your numbers and know where you are, because they need to be realistic. You can't set challenges that are too far out of reach, because it becomes disheartening and demotivating. So you really have to, again, team agreements, and get some fun around it. It's surprising what people will work hard for. I used to have an apprentice that wanted to sell more treatments than me, and it was over buying the other one a cup of coffee. But it wasn't about the coffee, it was about her. It was about her beating her boss. So it's surprising what people will be hungry for. And a lot of our salons, I know now, it's like they want to kick. We have our top 10 in Australia and New Zealand's the salons, and they're challenging for the top spot. So
that's awesome.
It's not what owners think it always is. It might be money, it might be it's not always. And I think it's really funny to sit down and have a team to say what they want to strive for, because you get some interesting answers, but it's what they want. So
everyone's motivated in very different ways, right? So it's about finding out what motivates them, like beating your boss, and then rolling with it, I guess, and playing to that so that they do perform at their best. That's really cool. It's funny.
Fun is everything. Fun is everything now, because we've had our stress. We've all been in the middle of it. We've all felt it for nigh on, most of this year. So now, if we want people to really perform and to produce results they've never ever created before, they're not going to do that through sustained fear and pressure and stress. And also think of it from a client's perspective. No one pays to see stress.
Yeah.
You don't go to Cirque du Soleil to see someone up there on the high beam stressed. So we want to see fun. We want to see that kind of. So, and we know results come quicker when people are enjoying what they're doing and engaged in that sort of fun way. So, massive tip. Turn this next quarter into fun.
That's awesome.
Be creative around it. And if people need ideas on how to be creative around these things, again, we're happy to give these things. There's no cost. We'll help people out. We want people to come out the other side of this really successfully.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. That's awesome. And we do have a little bit of time left. So, you guys I thought I'd ask one more question. So obviously a lot of talk about stress, and it is that crazy, frantic, hectic time. It's not only, you and your team that are busy, it's all of your clients are busy, and just long hours, long days. What's your advice to people for kind of, I guess, dealing with that and making sure that you're looking after yourself during that time?
I think it's important to at least have in a team, regardless whether you're 4, 10, 18, 20, I think it's important to have at least one person. You might find in a team you buddy up with someone and be accountable to that person. Say, right, this weekend I'm going to go for a walk, and have the other person check in on you. Did you do it? Because we all need a break, and fresh air and walking and exercise, doing whatever, or having a go to the beach or dinner or whatever. I think you need to do it, because we can always find the excuse of why we don't do it. And, but I need to do this. I need to do wages. I need to do Christmas planning. Yeah, you need to do that, but you'll do it efficiently and get it done faster if you're actually in a better frame of mind. So I think, picking a partner, having a team meeting and just have an accountability partner really to help you to be accountable. And that's a big part of what coaching is. We come in and say, right, what's your goals? They're not our goals, they're your goals. What are your goals? And we make it happen. We support you in making that happen. I think it's important everyone needs to look after themselves, because if you're broken, you can't, you're no good to anyone. Yeah.
Definitely.
That should be a part of that, bringing the team together to plan out the next quarter. For teams to be very real around it and go, well, look, this is what we believe our next quarter is going to look like. And these are going to be some of the risks that we're going to have. So how are we going to minimize those risks? What are the things that we need to do to make sure that we are looking out for each other and supporting each other and having our breaks and things, and agree on those together.
Definitely. Cool. Amazing. Thank you guys so much for chatting with me again today, and for those amazing tips. There was so much advice in there, which is awesome. So I'm sure that everyone watching got something amazing out of that.
Excellent.
Hope so. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time again. And thank you for everyone who is watching. I hope you all have an amazing day, and we'll see you on our next Facebook Live. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.